welcome to the Flock Podcast, which is a little bit of everything. Brought to you by the Flocking Network. Tonight, you guys have me, and the topic is going to be random. So I guess we're going to do most popular questions for the Queen. I'll answer some things, I guess. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. But if you like what you hear, you dig the vibe, and you want to support the Flock, make sure you check out the Buy Me a Coffee link. And from there, you can become a member, get some flocking merch. You can click the clickables to be on the Flock podcast. There's also a link in there to come to Flockfest as well, if you are interested in that. The links are in the show notes. I am totally winging it right now, and we're just gonna vibe with what we got here. So if you guys have any questions for me, and maybe what we'll do is I'll drop the link to come on here. And maybe we can just do like short little bursts of stuff. You don't have to like be on for the full hour. We'll do a couple minutes for everybody. How's that sound? And I'm just gonna drop this link. So if you guys want to pop on, we'll just open it up. Fuck it. Enters trivia game suggestion. I have nothing pulled up for that. I don't even know where the fuck that link is right now. Oh, trivia login maker. There it is. I have it. I do have it. We can do games. Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome. We're going to start at the top here. Oh, God, there's a lot of comments. What's up, Alex? Hello, Heather, Amy, Melissa, Purple Princess. There's Sunflower. Oh, God, I don't want to... Raisa, what's up, Cindy, Karma, Shipmess, Katie. Hello, welcome in. Adonica. Did I miss anyone? I don't want to miss anyone. Trying to read quickly. What's up? Lisette? Is it Lisette? Oh, we got Adonica coming on. Hello, my dear another face.
Hey.
What's up, Mike? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to get my volume up because I can't hear.
Can't hear me? Oh, is it my microphone?
Like I can barely hear you, which is not...
Is that better? Can you hear me better?
Dang it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got earbuds. Got this.
There's like 5 ready to go. Yeah, we can do a group thing too. If anybody wants to, we can do whatever. We'll do whatever. Hello. What do you want to talk about?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you the whole time. Can you hear me?
I can't. I hear you. What the hell? Apparently today is the day for
technology
issues. I don't know.
You can't hear me?
I'm still working.
Do you want to try logging out and come back on?
Damn it. It's like coming through my phone, but it's not loud enough to come through my phone, and it's not coming through my headset.
Do you want to try logging out and coming back?
Setting. Yeah, let me try that.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Did it work? Testing. 1, 2, check.
Is that it?
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Hey.
Finally.
There we go. So Shimes has a conversation idea, unless there was something that you wanted to talk about. But you and Hubs had this whole Bigfoot Sam Squatch conversation on the ride to the hotel from Flockfest. I remember her telling me about this. I don't recall the details of it, but I do remember that conversation.
Yeah, well, I know that it centered around my dad. I remember him telling me, like, as a young child, because he used to live in Northern California, like near the coast. And he told me all about how you can smell them when they're close. Like, you never... Not good. It wasn't a pleasant smell from what he described. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, he's been near enough that he's gone the other way.
Damn. Do they make any
Yeah.
sound? Like, do you hear them like walking through the woods or anything? They're fucking
I
silent.
d-
I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
They've got to be
And
silent.
then there's another podcast that I listened to years ago that basically talked about how they're like interdimensional beings. Like they're just on another frequency, kind of like, I don't know, kind of like my voice.
Right? I
Yeah.
fully support that. And I agree with that too. I think that they are, and I've said this a long time ago too, like they're only seen when they want to be seen. Like they have the ability to pass through that veil. And I think that they have the ability to like the portals that are in the woods and like the stairs and shit. Like that's what they use
Yep.
to get places.
Yep.
I fully believe that. I 100% agree with you, but that's crazy. Your dad and I need to have a conversation too, because I know the one
I
thing
know.
is a thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you sent me a
his is-
message one
yeah.
time, you're like, my dad is also on the 130. I'm like, what is it with this number? Because it has been intense, especially lately. It's been intense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Must be on the right path.
They're stinky. Stinky,
Yeah.
stink. Horrible sound and horrible smell. Coming in and out of our dimension. Yeah, I'd walk the other. I don't know if I'd run. I'd probably just like walk at a hasty pace. Like I'm not gonna draw attention to, but I'm gonna walk quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk quick. Oh, we got Heather coming on too. Hi, Heather. You got a Bigfoot comment? I guess we're gonna do a Bigfoot show.
I'm down.
What do you got for Bigfoot? Have their children been seen? Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Heather's pushing buttons. That's all right. Have their children been seen?
Huh. Good question.
Kind of like baby pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them either. As long as you aren't the slowest, you're the same. Right? You don't have to run faster than the thing chasing you. You just have to run faster than the slowest person that's running from the thing that's chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
Round two. Ding, ding, ding. Did you hit the wrong button?
I shouldn't touch things.
All right. We got Heather's comment, and then we'll bring Derek on for his comment too. All right. Go ahead, Heather.
I wonder if they're not multi-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I missed a little bit of y'all's conversation. You may have already said that.
That's what I've heard anyway.
That they're interdimensional and they're and that they can go in between different realms. That's what we were talking about. I think when you were trying to log in.
That's why some people see them, I guess, and some can't. And just like the same thing with UFOs and things.
Mm-hmm.
Derek?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear over here.
You ready for me? You ready for a question?
I'm ready for a question.
Although I do not believe in the Anunnaki, I think there's something to do with the wristwatches that they wear, and I think it controls their resonant vibration. And there's portals, there's loopholes across the plane, and they're kind of shown like on older maps. But I feel like there's something to do with this wristwatch that allows us to change our resonant vibration and maybe become crystalline or act as crystalline, that allows us to transfer dimensions or you know what I mean, if that makes sense. So that's just the only thought I had. Seeing what you-
Karma thinks they're drifters. I agree. So the wristwatch thing, wasn't there a movie at some point in time that had something to do? Like I remember them like having to like turn, it wasn't Jumper, but it had something to do with and it wasn't the Time movie where the time is their like currency. I remember that had JT in it. No, it was like do you know what I'm talking about, Donica? Like they had a watch.
I do.
And they
I do. I've seen it.
Watch in order to like pass through different dimensions. Does that Harry and the Hendersons? Is that the movie? No.
I'm thinking.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Wait. shoot, the Here to Chew Bubblegum show. What the heck is that? What's that movie?
They Live.
They Live, yes. I just watched that recently. I swear, didn't they have watches? They had watches.
I've only seen it once.
I've only seen it once too, but it was recent. But they did.
Don't Men in Black have watches?
Yeah, yeah, they're issued a government watch. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what the flat plane is, it is like God's clock. You know, that's why the arc degrees are perfect days, and it all matches up. And then so, like the zodiac, like your birth chart, is just planet energies. So.
Oh, Derek froze. Derek, I'm gonna take you off until you unfreeze. Heather, I'm gonna let you finish your dinner. All right, thank you. Oh, we got Derek back. Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it?
It froze out.
You froze up.
I'm telling you, I'm getting some like weird juju today. It's weird. Anyhow, yeah. But yeah, if we can match that resonant frequency from that energy of that planet with that wristwatch, I mean, there might be a way to step through time, you know?
I think we do that now, though. I think that that's part of this like ascension process and like the spiritual journey that a lot of us are on, is we are not only opening up ourselves to these other realms and these other dimensions and these, you know, the veil is thinning, right? And it's almost like we just keep, like we have these really thick like sunglasses on and we just keep taking like layers and layers and layers of them off. And I think that the more that we do get more in touch with nature and we do ground ourselves more and strip away this programming and strip away all of the poison that is calcifying our pineal gland, that we'll be able to see more and more of these frequencies. I know that I'm already seeing more shit, right? Like there's stuff out of the corner of your eye that you see. There's different frequencies that you're starting to pick up and hear. Like I can hear, I've always been able to hear electricity. But goddamn, like sometimes it's so fucking loud, especially the things in the parking lot, like so loud. That shit hurts. And I know that my hearing is changing too because Shar can hear it as well. She's like, "Mommy, what is that?" I'm like, "I don't know, baby, but it's loud as fuck."
My off the chart, like they're like, they don't nonstop ringing. I feel like my eyes are getting worse, but like my ears are super sensitive right now.
Oh, okay. See, so like I was on this monoatomic gold kick for a while. Have you heard about this? Have you researched this in your studies? I know Adonica remembers me doing the monoatomic gold. That shit took away what is it? The stigmatism. Because I saw the halos at night. Like I couldn't drive at night. And like the gold, it took it away. And
really?
And I went I went backwards in my script. I went back to my old glasses because like my vision improved and the stigmatism went away.
I have astigmatism in both eyes, and that's the only like health thing that I have that I can't figure out how to fix.
Yo, just snort some Egyptian gold dust. Bob used to make fun of me. He's like, "What are you doing? Snorting Egyptian gold dust?" Yes, Dad, that's exactly what I'm doing. 100%. The Egyptians snorted it. I put it in, I would lick the spoon. I would do all of the things. I'd put it in my face cream. Oh my God, it did wonders.
So where do you get this stuff at? The black market?
No, there's a
Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah, it's in my clickables. And the monoatomic gold. And I've done my research and I found that the 24K brand, the one that I have in there, I even got the little spoons in there too. You want a snuff kit? I can get you one of them.
Hey, if I get rid of these floaters and fix my astigmatism, I might lose my resting bitch face.
But it was kind of like it was a catalyst for a lot of things for me.
That's awesome.
The monoatomic gold. And this one that I found is 99.9. Did you try it?
Yeah.
It, like 99.9% pure monoatomic gold. This one is. Yeah, it's in the clickables. It's in the recommendations thing. And then you can order it from their actual site. It's the same price on Amazon. But you can order it from their actual site too, which is also in the clickables. And I've had a lot of flockers try it too, and like stuff has like reversed and gotten better for them.
Yeah, I thought it was parasites, but I did 2 parasite cleanses and I didn't really pass anything, and they never really got better. So I think it's something more than that. I don't know.
We cannot get on the worm topic.
No, that's all I had. I just wanted that whole wristwatch thing is like, I think it's in Avengers too, and they go back in time to like the stones for the glove or whatever. They have the wristwatch, and they all take like stones and go different ways, but it's a watch that they like somehow like quantum jump or something.
Interesting.
But you ladies have a wonderful evening.
Thanks for hopping on, Derek.
You're welcome. See you.
Did you have a topic that you want? We kind of just like forced a Bigfoot at you. And then that went into a whole thing. Did you have a topic that you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I was just jumping on to help.
I appreciate that.
And also I thought, because I was on last week, if anybody had any questions or if any,
right.
I don't know, whatever.
It wasn't live. Yeah. So anybody who watched so for those of you who don't know, we did, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Snapshot. So we did a pre-recorded live the first time that Adonica spoke about this on a podcast form, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was about filicide and how she lost her boys. And it ended up being an absolutely beautiful live. So if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend going and watching that, because hearing Adonica's story and your story and seeing all of the signs that your boys are still here, and just like meeting you in person at Flockfest and like feeling your energy and the fact that you're still here and in this mindset and not only still continuing this journey, but doing it at the level in which you're doing it at is nothing short of amazing. Like, you are literally one of the strongest women that I know. So if anybody has any questions, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
I didn't even think about that.
Thanks, everybody.
And all sorts of love in the comments here.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, I don't know, people understood what was going on and the big issue that it is, and like also, I don't know, share about them because they're pretty cool.
They also very much like to be. So I don't know. So we can share this. After the show, you texted me like right as soon as we ended, and you were like, "The Xbox is on," and I was like,
"Yep,
they enjoyed the show."
Yep, right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They do all kinds of things, especially when it's weird because it happens sometimes when I'm having an extra hard day. I'll come home from work and the Xbox is on, or the disco light is on, or some weird, I don't know,
just
occurrence
that you're there.
Yep.
I don't think anybody has any questions for you. I think I really think that was a good live. We touched on everything, right? We gave the overview, and I know that there were a lot of people, especially flockers, that have known you for a while, or at least seen you around, that you talk about your boys, and it's always one of those things where you want to know but you don't want to ask type of thing. So I do appreciate your strength in sharing that story. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, do you want me to hop off, let somebody else on? Is anybody else want to come on?
You can hop
I know.
off. You can hop off. We can open this up because I know you were not prepared, and I appreciate all of you hopping on and helping me out here.
All right.
I came with you in the live last week on Heather's. Your boys?
That's right. Yeah. So I Heather had a morning live for her birthday. And it was a later morning live, so I was actually able to catch it. And she was collecting shells and things. And she said, it's funny because she reached out to me. She said that, like, basically right as I popped on and said, because I needed it that morning, like I was just having a rough morning. And she said right after that, she found these shells, and she held them up. I remember seeing her holding them up and kind of looking at them. And it felt very much like they wanted me to see them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're always there.
They are.
They really like Heather.
They do. I remember in the Zooms, they were messing with the Zoom when it was like the two of you in there with the boys and throwing the hands up and everything. So Shimas has a question. What would Adonica like to say if she had one statement to say to anyone or a stranger?
Like, I don't.
think maybe regarding like going through something like this.
I mean, I think I touched on it at the very end last week. Everybody's caught up in living their day-to-day lives, but they're not actually living. They're just kind of going through the routine. They're surviving, and that's one thing that I really really started to focus on, especially in the past probably 2 years. I've been consciously trying to live and do things and like not just pass the days away.
I love hearing about your adventures, and you're always out doing something, and I'm here
I'm
for
always
it.
somewhere.
Yeah, you're always somewhere. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you
All right.
coming on and opening that floor up.
Of course. I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty, flockers. I'm going to drop this link one more time for y'all. Otherwise, if anybody has any questions for me, or we can open up trivia and we can see how that goes. Or third option, I can just end this. We are having, I will tell you guys this though. I thought that I was able to get my book published through this one publishing company. And because I'm doing a half upside down, half right side up book, it's called a flip flop book. I didn't know that this was a thing. They won't do it. So now I got to go back through this other company. And I sent them an email. I'm like, hey, before I drop a whole bunch of fucking money on this, like, are you guys going to be able to do it? And apparently they do. So no, I'll stick around. I'll stick around. But so we got to go through a different publishing company. I also forgot the copyright page, which I asked that in the live this morning. Is the copyright symbol copyrighted as well? Like, how does that work? That was my question. What do you tell someone who feels alive and full of energy, but trapped at the same time? My advice to them would be to find an outlet. Like, if they feel trapped, why do they feel trapped? Do they feel trapped because they can't physically leave? Do they feel trapped because they don't have like an energetic outlet for something? Like they have a whole bunch of whatever pent up and they don't have like writing or going on a hike or running or putting the woodworking or throwing clay. Like, in which way are they trapped? Right? Like, I guess that would be my question. I wanted to be a vet. And then I wanted to be a police officer on horseback, a mounted officer. And then I wanted to be an English teacher, none of which worked out. Yeah, are they trapped mentally or physically? Yeah, I wanted to be a vet. My first job was actually, besides mucking stalls for lessons, that shit I started when I was like 11, 12, 11, 12. But like my first official job, remember back in school when you had to get like the green card pass in order to like be allowed to work when you were like 15? Do you remember that shit? Or maybe it was just New York State. I don't know, because of child labor laws and shit, you can only work so many hours. But my first job was at a vet clinic, and I was holding animals and cleaning the kennels and like handling like the boarders and the animals that were there for recovery or that were sick. Or I've been literally like picking up shit my entire life. It's just what I've been doing. My resume is extensive. If I wrote down every single job that I've ever had, even the ones that I only lasted like a day at, like it would be 4 pages long. Trapped and they can't leave their surroundings and mentally. I mean, what is causing them not to be able to leave? I mean, I guess if they're okay, so if they're trapped physically and emotionally, so that I understand that you're trying to stay vague. So I'm trying to stay vague with my answer here. So in my mind, I automatically go to, you're in a situation where you're mentally trapped because you're already done with that situation, right? So you're already like thinking of a way out, right? Like, how am I going to get out of this? And then physically trapped because how are you going to pull this off, right? Like physically leave. And that's you're between a rock and a hard spot. But I did hear this on It was a clip of a podcast. I can't remember which podcast it was, but he said this thing and I was like, "Oh, damn, I never even like thought of it that way." Is she had said something like they feel stuck between a rock and a hard spot, and he immediately was like, "That's how a snake sheds their skin." And it snapped my, like, I almost scrolled and that shit snapped my attention. And I was like, oh my goodness, I never thought of it that way. Like when you're stuck between a rock and a hard spot, when your only option is you are backed in that corner and you got nobody to fall back on, you got no other option, right? There's no side door that you can sneak out. There's no back entrance that you can leave from. Like your only option is to push through that pain and to go through it. Right? You're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Your only option is to shed what is holding you back and what is keeping you trapped and push forward into that. That's the only way out. And it's going to hurt and it's going to be really hard, but you can do it. You got it. 100%. There's always a way out and it's through it. It's through it. Because the reason that somebody would feel trapped is because they're staying stuck in that victim. I don't have any options. You do have options, you just don't like them. And that's tough position to be in. And it's hard to hear and it's hard to face those, right? Like, fuck, I can't run. I gotta stand here in it and I gotta face it. Even if you're doing it scared, you're doing it. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I heard that and I was like, damn. That's how a snake sheds its skin. They get stuck between a rock and a hard spot. It's the only way that they're going to be able to get out of it. Good question. Good question. I think that described a lot of people's lives. Mm-hmm. You did it. You did it scared. You did it nervous. You did it. You've already survived. Look back at your life for a second. Just like recall everything, like all the good shit and all the hard shit, right? Like you've survived all of that. Everything that you thought was going to take you down was now just something that made you stronger. Like as cliche as that statement is, what doesn't kill you does make you stronger 100%. Because look at all that you've survived. Look at all that you've overcome. Look at all of these happy moments that you've been able to have because of all the shit that you've gone through. There's duality in all of it, right? You're not going to be able to appreciate those happy moments if you don't experience the shitty ones. And you're put through those shitty ones because it's preparing you for what you asked for. Mm-hmm. To face the ghost. Yep. Your best life is on the other side of that fear. Yes, ma'am, I do. I do. Not as often as I used to. I mean, we kind of touch on that more. Like, we'll dive into that a little bit more on like the Here to Chew Bubblegum show. And then we were talking about sacred geometry, which is all over that map the other week on this podcast. Exactly. All right, next question. I guess we're just gonna open this up to what was that advice column? Ask Abby. I'll probably do another like 15 minutes. Here's a question I was gonna make a video with. I still have to do the question of the week. And then I saw this one. Remember when I used to do the positive like questions? Remember that? My eel theory, I can touch on that. And you guys can answer this in the comments while I'm going over eels. What would you try to do if you knew you couldn't fail? With Jeopardy questions? Always wanted to be Dr. Laura when you grew up. My eel theory. So here we'll do this question. What would you try to do if you couldn't fail? So the eels. So eels, saltwater eels, not freshwater eels, but saltwater eels, they don't host any reproductive organs, and they have tracked them, and they find that their spawning and mating and migratory patterns lead them to the Bermuda Triangle every year. And within the Bermuda Triangle is this area called the Sargasso Sea, I think is how you pronounce it, which is within the Bermuda Triangle, which is where they go. Now, here's where my theory pulls in, is I believe that the Bermuda Triangle, no, this is assuming that they're planets, okay? But it could also just lead to the portal. But for the sake of argument, we're going to go with the hyperdimensional hexagon on the North Pole of Saturn, all right? So I believe that the Bermuda Triangle is a direct portal to the North Pole of Saturn. And I think because they go into this sea every year, and they come back with more eels, like they come back with their spawn. So I think that eels come from Saturn, and I will die on that hill, even if I'm alone. Art, you would do art all day if you knew you couldn't fail? Sunflower would fly. That's a good one. That's a good one. If you knew you couldn't fail, right? Qualifies. That's thinking outside the box. I'm here for it. So do I think we have planets? I don't think that they're okay, so I believe that, see, I don't think that the Earth is completely flat, right? And I've made videos on this. I've spoken about this several times. I think it's a combination of all three. I think there's the flat Earth, as above, so below, creating hollow Earth, and the spherical part is the Taurus energy field, which creates your aurora borealis because of the sonoluminescent lighting, right? And then think like rushing nesting dolls within each other, okay, for like where the ice wall would meet, right? That would be your outer energetic barrier, your firmament, your dome. It's all the same thing. So I don't believe that what we see in the sky are planets. I think that they're portals. And I think that, when they talk about like Mercury and retrograde, and like when you look at your birth chart and where your Mercury and your Venus and your Jupiter is, and you look at your soul contract, and you look at human design, and you look at like hand analysis and all this other shit. And I think that the planets are portals, because I don't believe that we're on a planet. I believe that we're on a plane, and that these portals are our soul, right? Our soul traveled through those portals in whatever order, right? Which is where you get your astrology from, and your chart and your zodiac sign. That's the way that your soul traveled here. That's the map of your soul. Which portals, planets did you pass through? That is the best way that I can view it without them being planets, because I don't believe that space is real. So I think that they're portals. Do I think that the seas connect through caves? Yes. I think that there's seas underneath the seas, and everything is connected. It's all connected one way or another, right? Like all water leads to the ocean. It's all connected. You would decorate homes and remodel. Time jumping, right? It makes sense. It makes sense. There's 3 triangles. I believe, are you like the Bermuda Triangle? I think there are 3 triangles, but I don't think that they're all over water, because we just watched another one on crop circles in England, and the points where all the crop circles happen make a triangle too. So I think that there's triangles. There's these energetic hotspots. There's these places where these ley lines converge, right? And you have amplified energy. On Lake Michigan? I don't know anything about that. All right, we're gonna have one more, and then we're gonna wrap. This is weird to do without music too in the background. I'm gonna have to find some. Remember that music that we used to play on Twitch way back in the day? This is gonna be the most random live ever. Well, have you seen where the oceans meet and they don't mix because of the density of the water, because of the salt water, the density. And then there's eels too that go from freshwater to saltwater and saltwater to freshwater. They're fucking intense. And they have their own electrical current. And if you want to take it one step further, remember in The Little Mermaid, because I have a toddler and we watch a lot of Disney movies. Do you remember in The Little Mermaid when with Ursula and her eels and they would be able to like link their eyes together and like see certain things? I mean, why would they put that in a Disney movie if it wasn't true? Karma says, I always thought the Bermuda Triangle was just a graveyard for NASA's shuttles, but the eel theory is way more interesting. But I think it's one of those like magnetic hotspots, that one of those energy hotspots, because even like ships and shit that pass through there, like their controls go nuts. Yeah, so the guy who invented SpongeBob was a marine biologist. So like a lot of shit in SpongeBob is actually based on fact, like the sea sponges and like there's actually scientific fact behind large parts of that show and like the lagoons and stuff and like the rivers in the ocean, like that shit actually exists. Girl, there's so much. There's so much. Like you really want to fuck with your shit? Go watch Alice in Wonderland. That will really fuck you up. Just about like 15 minutes in is all you need. Like the original Alice in Wonderland. There's so much like now knowing what you know now and going back and rewatching some of these things with that perspective and that knowledge and a different understanding and your confirmation bias is also going to pick up different things now that the programming was just you were just blind to it, right? You weren't really picking it up. You weren't looking at it from this perspective. Like you're gonna that's how movie night started. That's how movie night started is we were like, we should really go back and watch some of these movies because there's a whole bunch of shit that they was trying to tell us about this entire time. So we started doing movie nights and then that got a little out of hand and we kind of like ran through the whole sheet and The Patriot is what did me in. That's a terrible movie. They did such a terrible job with that movie. Like I appreciate Mel Gibson, but goddamn, it was awful. So we switched to documentaries and I know that everybody just cringed at the way that I said that, but that's how I say it. So now we do that and now they're like educational. We watch shit on crop circles and I take a fuck ton of notes and post those. So that's what we do now. I might throw a movie in every once in a while, maybe. We still have to watch what's the one with the I had a sticker of it at one point in time. Shit Mess was going to of how everyone knows of who. When was the phrase conspiracy theory coined in respect to when Alice in Wonderland was created? Oh God, I pulled that a while ago, like when conspiracy theory was where's my dictionary? When was this word? Conspiracy. First record of conspiracy was in 1325, Middle English, to conspire. To conspire. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. They don't tell you. They don't tell you. Apocalypto. That's the one that we got to watch, but there's subtitles because it's in a different language. Documentary. It's a documentary. It's just like it will always be certain because I can't say specific. Moana, yeah, Moana's a good one. Go watch Soul. Go watch that. Go watch Inside Out is another good one to watch. Conspiracy theory was The CIA and JFK? Or do you want to talk about that? I don't know much about that one. I'd have to do some research before I spoke on that on a live. Inside Out is making a second one. Inside Out is good. Inside Out is I would suggest watching Soul first and then Inside Out. If you were going to like pick an order to watch them in, watch Horton Hears a Who. Watch that one. That one will fuck you up a little bit. And then and then watch The Lorax. There's another good one. I'm trying to think. Strange World. That's like, that reminds me, that one just came out recently and I actually like sat down and watched it with Char. That reminds me of like a child's version of Avatar is what that one reminds me of. Soul was sad, but it's so good. It's such a good show. The Neverland Beast with Tinkerbell. I haven't watched that one. I watched a different Tinkerbell. There's so many Tinkerbell movies. I watched another Tinkerbell movie. I can't remember what one. I think it was The Return. Was it The Return to Neverland? I can't remember. All right, y'all. 42 is the answer to everything. This was fun. Thank y'all for sticking it out with me. Let's do our shout outs for the day. So we got James with 00 Music, who does our intro and our outro for us. Goose with Here to Chew Bubblegum. Our lovely sponsor, Static and Noise. All of these can be found in the channels tab, and check that community tab. I will also be this week sending out just a little like friendly reminder about Flockfest. So keep eye out for that. Make sure you click the clickables along with clicking the like button, the subscribe. If you haven't already, just subscribe to the YouTube. Just help me out. All right. Just do the thing. Just click the clickables. All right. Hit that like button before we end here. And I will see you guys Sunday for Here to Chew Bubblegum. And next week, what is next week? Ooh, I don't know who I have on the show next week, but the following week, I do know who I have on the show following week. But all right, y'all, flock around and find out. Love you guys.